Well, one time, they had two families. Well, two families divided in one. Descendants of the Djiné. Two brothers. The elder, they was calling Tonne. And the younger, they was calling Kosh. The both of them lived in that estate down there. The big one that's stretching all the way from Belle Vue to Grand Sab. Edikwi!
Kwa!
Edikwi Mama Ila!
Kwa!
Edikwi!
Kwa!
Tonne and Kosh live well. Well. Very well. Was the days of green gold, banana covered the entire estate. Tonne and Kosh had plenty workers. Plowing and planting, plowing and planting. During the week, everybody working hard. Was truly a beautiful sight to see. The way everybody working together. The men doing the planting and the women too. The women used to carry the bananas on their head to the banana shed. And the young men used to help them. And the women used to wash the bananas, pack them in boxes, and count them. Edikwi!
Kwa!
Edikwi Mama Ila!
Kwa!
Edikwi!
Kwa!
Every weekend, the money coming in strong. Tonne, he built a big house. Kosh, he built a bigger one. Every weekend, everybody in the glory. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. What a beautiful sight to see. Everything was going well until one day.
Banana finish.
What?
It finish. I'm not wasting my time. 20 cents a pound? What is that? Buy your own fertilizer. What is that? No spray plane? Who is that? One time the earth getting dry like it's siding with Chiquita. Another time the wind blowing so hard banana can't stand up. I tell you from today on, I finish. I leave it worse than when a man to the back on a woman.
Betties! If you leave bananas, what you gonna do? Eh? What you gonna eat? What your children going and eat?
Which children? They done gone about their business already. It's only me and Meredith.
Yes, but they had to eat too. Betties, I tell you.
I am a fisherman. I was a fisherman long before I started planting bananas. I still have my canoe down by Grand Sal. You forget I brave all them big mama waves and go all the way to St. Vincent to catch fish? You forget this highway feed Belle Vue people? Besides, I have sense and I have connections.
That is history, Kosh. You talking 30, 40 years ago. Eh? You can't go into that sea down there. For it to pull into its belly. For it to vomit out for the crabs. Eh? And besides, it have plenty evil around. So you better watch out.
You're always talking about evil. That is what keeping you back.
And you blind. You can't see it. That is why I put it right under your roof.
What you talking about? Don't feel I can't pick up on your nonsense. My wife is a born-again Christian. I stand in here and I hear you insulting her.
I never mentioned anybody name. But if that is sense you pick.
What else you could be talking about? Eh? Who else living under my roof? I should have never listened to you. I leave Martinique and come here to help you, and look what happened.
You know, you never say that at all when money was flowing in. You never say that at all. Look at the size of the house you built. Look. You never say that at all.
I spend plenty of my own money on that house. Eh? I leave my work in Martinique to doing construction and come here to help you. If it wasn't for me, that whole side of the hill done gone already. I would have never find myself in this situation where the bank want to take the roof over my head. Although you have 5 more years than me, you was always a coward. You was always scared to leave the land. You love the smell of pigs just as much as you love the talk of evil.
I am Djiné. And so are you. I never hung my hat where my hand can't reach. This is the way how man pa bring us up. Cows bring milk. Sheep is for sacrifice. Pigs bring money, yes, but they bring that same money that you love so much.
You mad?
Is you mad? If you leave bananas, what you going to do? Eh?
I tell you, I have a plan and I have connections. One that could bring plenty money to both me and you. More money than mama and papa and their mama and papa and everybody could ever dream of.
Yes, but where the money coming from, Kosh? That sound like devil business, eh?
I can't tell you more yet. But a man supposed to come and see me. After he come, I will have more to tell you.
Edikwi! Kwa! Edikwi Mama Ila!
Kwa!
Edikwi!
Kwa!
I was beginning to get worried. You see, I never trusted Kosh. Although he and Tonne come from one. Kosh was always impatient. Never could I take his time with nothing. And always running from the Guinea culture. He stayed close to the priest with money and power in mind. Then when his wife joined Pentecostal, he joined too. Kosh always wanted everything quick, 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 quick. So when he said he had a plan, I knew was the beginning of trouble. Edikwi!
Kwa!
Edikwi Mama Ila!
Kwa!
Edikwi!
Kwa!
You see, one day, Tonne's wife became very ill. Stroke, doctor say. But I knew better. The woman was always all right. Then one day, she fall down, boop. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk, till she passed away. Jealousy. Kosh's wife is a very jealous woman and couldn't handle the fact that my Tonne was the one in control. She had to put her down. Tonne should have never let that woman step one foot in the house. But he always thought that he family and Kosh family could have been one. But some people are greedy and they always want more. And that is the problem with Kosh and his family. When Tonne's wife became ill, it hit me hard. But Tonne is still a lucky man. He have a good daughter, Sandra. Strong and full of determination. Edikwi!
Ki bel bato betilia adai. Ki bel bato betilia adai. Ay 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 why? Ki bel bato ki bel bato betilia adai. 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 Let's go. Ki bel bato betilia adai. 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 to Betilia Adai. Ay, 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 ay.
My sister, what it is you still doing here?
Waiting for you, my brother.
Yes.
You think it's a secret that there's plenty time you're spending up there by the bush? Wait till you see this wild girl.
You still have a sting for a tongue, yes? You know Sandra has always been close to me, so I pass and see her now and again.
Now and again. From what I hear, it's only a house you're missing to build under that tree.
Okay, alright. So I've been spending some time there. But I like Sandra. She's intelligent, full of energy and ambition.
And you like energy, eh? Ah.
Stop teasing me, sister. What you want?
When last you see your mother?
Just last week?
For her, that is 10 years ago. You know that.
I know, but I've been busy, sister.
Busy under the mango tree.
No, seriously. Elections just around the corner and I've been helping with the party. They want me to go up.
You are going up, right?
Well, the Prime Minister asked me himself. And I told him... I was supposed to give him my answer by this morning.
You're going to tell him yes, of course.
I was going to.
Oh.
But now, I'm not so sure, nah?
My brother, you could do a better job than most of the fellas that are already there. See me and Gwen.
I know that, but I would need more than that, you know? I would need support, and you know that.
You know you will get our support. You know that.
I know, but I would also need some form of heavy financial backing. I want to run a different campaign. Start some concrete work right away. No way am I just going to go on promises.
Back in. That sounds like a lot of money. You don't need money. The people here will support you. They know you. We grew up here among them. Our father helped so many people when he was alive. He was truck driver, butcher, everything. The people remember that. And they're already telling me you're the picture of him. They will support you because they will also be supporting him.
I should make you my campaign manager. You're sounding so confident. It's like you work it all out already.
Yes, brother. I want to help you. There's a man who wants to talk to you.
A man?
Laroche.
I know that name.
Remember the old family used to own the estate? And remember how Kosh people had worked as chefs on the man, forced him to give him part of the land?
That is it, Laroche. And the last of them ran away to the States,
Yes, well, the younger one is here, the son. He have a lot of money that he wants to spend. You need to talk to him. You need money too if you're going up for elections.
Oh, come on, big sister. Be straight with me. Is it really me you're concerned about or yourself? You still having trouble with the bank end?
They want to take our house, Gavin. You know that I told you. Look. I don't want to talk about it, okay? Right. Kosh have a plan.
No, why it is only build such a big house?
It's not that. We didn't have no problems with the bank, Gavin. It's since things go so bad in the bananas, what do you expect me to do? Look. I said I don't want to talk about it, okay? Talk to Laroche. He could help you. You need money too if you say you're going up for elections. Don't let this girl come and take your head. We come from a family with ambition. You take care of me, and I will take care of you. Now, I will arrange for you to meet the white man right away.
Okay, my sister. You do that. Now go on.
You send message saying you want to see me?
I have good news for you, my brother.
Since when you call me brother?
We are brothers.
I'm not saying no.
You can be a rich man, Tonne.
To be wise is to be rich. What it is you want?
A man is here, Tonne. A man loaded with money. He wants to give us $3 million for the land.
No.
You didn't hear me, Tonne. $3 million.
Which land?
Our land, Belle Vue. From right here where we stand, go all the way down to the coast.
Mad.
It's true, but you would still have a peace.
Kosh, what peace?
Gosh,
Go in peace.
the peace on the plateau, Tonne, where you're raising the pigs.
It is not enough for our family. You serious? That is the plan you say you had? We can't sell all our land. To sell the land is to sell the river. To sell the Campeche. To sell the mount. To sell our soul. You are a madman, Kosh.
It's $3 million, Tonne. Imagine your life could change.
My life not changing now at my age. Let everything and wrong change. Eh? Why does that man want all our land? That land that come down so many generations. Was neither a stone nor a seed then. Eh? We great grandfather, I'm not even sure how many greats, work and toil on that land. Eh? Work and toil in the sun and buy it from them. It's so we get 30 carries of land. It's sell we go in and sell it. Just so.
What you going to do with the lantern?
That is a foolish question. Eh? What about all the trend from man past side? Eh? All the grandchildren. Eh? Kill it, make it better. Eh? What we going and do?
The lazy, useless ones that smoking weed and playing rasta?
What we going and do? Throw them to the side like goat because their father, our brother, didn't go to church with their mother. And what about our own children?
Who tell you the children want land?
Who tell man pa we wanted land? Eh? You had no use for it then. You didn't appreciate it then. It's only when you turn big man, it's so you're glad you get it.
We could use the money to help the children.
Gosh, money does finish. And what happened when the money finish? Eh? Tell me that.
It will still be a lot of money between the both of us.
It's not between the both of us, Kosh. It's not between the both of us. We're going to have to share it with everybody in the family.
It will still be a lot of money.
No matter the size of the money, Kosh, money does finish. And what you gonna do when it finish, eh? We'll have no money and no land. You'll be on your backside, Kosh.
You are a foolish, stubborn man. You backward. You want to remain in the backward life of the Djiné.
I'm proud of my roots. And I remain like that until the Almighty take my way. And besides, if I wasn't stubborn, you and your wife sell milk too.
That is the problem too. You and your family never like my wife.
You like her?
What kind of question is that?
You may not know it, but you're always looking for an excuse to leave that house. But I go tell you why. It's your wife. Is she looking to run away from? That woman is wicked and is a schemer. You want to sell all that land? She will take all the money from you.
You are a backward man, Tonne. I will leave you alone. Goodbye.
Go forward, Kosh. But I tell you, it will be too late for you if you chop down your own roots.
I know you're crying, but I must still talk. I see in the field, there, you alone, planting, you and the damn mule. And I know how much you love the earth. And I wish I could love you like you love the earth, but when I was in the war with the soldiers, even when I used to feel so ashamed, I know I wasn't for this country life. Maybe because I have their blood in me. French blood. And maybe I want all that. My life is look up. But sometimes I just feel at my age like an old black woman up in the mountains with my teeth going and my body getting dry and nothing to do but to cook a piece of white yam and saltfish for you. You understand what I'm saying?
Parfait.
What?
Well, I understand what you are saying, eh?
You were listening?
Repeat. Say that part again about when you were with these soldiers.
Not me yet.
Yet.
Yet from the Haitian Earth by their club.
Oh, yes. You are very impressive, eh?
You think so?
Of course. That's right. You said you wanted to become an actress, huh?
Yes.
That bit I saw there, it is very impressive, huh? I mean, if this was an audition and I was the director, you'd be signing a contract already. Eh?
Well, I'm ready to sign.
Well, okay, Julia Roberts. You get $1 million.
No, 2 million.
Ah, okay. Mon Dieu, we're aiming high, huh?
Well, since you've been watching Pretty Woman.
You're smart. So, what are you working on?
I'm actually auditioning for a part in the play.
Oh.
The audition is tomorrow, so I thought I'd just rehearse my lines.
Oh.
You're here to see my father, of course. Let me go get him.
Wait, no. Don't rush off on me. I have something for you. A small gift to show my appreciation for showing me around yesterday.
That's very kind of you, sir.
You are the one who's kind, really, to be walking around in the blazing sun with me.
A chain. Gold? Wow. Wow, that's too much, sir. That must be expensive.
Let me help you try it on, huh? Fantastic, huh? You're so attractive, huh?
Let me go get Daddy for you.
Yes, I am waiting here. Set in Belle Vue.
Yes, that's what we call here.
Oh, Belle Vue.
I've always loved here. This was always the center. As children, we used to follow the elders here. Any special occasion, we'd find ourselves here. Birthdays and weddings, funerals.
Oh, interesting. And you danced, yeah?
Dance and sang. This was always an exciting place. I could still hear the drums.
The drums?
Can you hear them?
Wait, I am listening. I must confess, I am not hearing them.
I always hear them. I feel them all around. They seem to come from under the ground. Mama stopped dancing when she joined the Pentecostal church, but she couldn't stop me from stealing away. We used to dance so much.
You used to? You don't dance anymore?
We dance solo on the Kèlè in the year in October and November. If you're around long enough, you'll be just in time for some.
I know sense. Yeah. Belle Vue of the mountains. Belle Vue of the sea. There's so much beauty here, huh? Like you, huh? You do not know what you have here. I like the energy in the waves, the big ones, the
breakers.
The breakers. I like to see them at night. Where is the road to the beach, huh?
Come. Look between those two coconut trees that you see just across the road there. The track is right below them and it leads through the coconut plantation that you see in there.
Oh.
If you go straight through, you'll reach a large mangrove swamp.
Oh, I remember.
And soon after that, you'll be under some almond trees and right on the sand.
I mean, it is not so close, huh?
We used to walk down there all the time.
Yes.
But it's not exactly a beach. It's very, very rough. My father, he still keeps a canoe down there that he lends to the younger fishermen.
Oh.
The same canoe that he used to go Martinique the first time. And sometimes when he gets upset with Ma, he threatens to go out on the waters. But I know it's just a threat. He isn't mad.
I'm not too sure about that.
Excuse me?
I want to be sure of that. You and me, can we take a walk down to the beach?
I hardly go down there anymore.
Oh, you scared?
A little.
Black magic.
There are spirits down there. Many spirits. Spirits of the Negmawan. Spirits of the Djiné. Spirits of the Amerindians. The spirits live in the mangroves.
Spirits of the French.
Who will talk for the British?
Oh, I do not care for the British. Let us go, huh? Don't be scared. You are intelligent and educated, huh? Jacob.
I'm educated enough to know about the Black Caribs and the wars that they fought down there against the colonists. It's said that bands of them threw themselves off of the cliffs instead of surrendering to the slave masters. Their spirits are alive and they are angry. Sometimes at night, if you listen carefully, you can hear their cries.
Interesting. It's good stories for tourism, huh?
Sea down there is very rough. The wind, it just howls at everything.
It's good for surfing, huh?
It all glitters for you, doesn't it? Yes, it's good for surfing.
Just what I thought.
You really are interested in buying this place, aren't you?
Your father tell you, oui?
That's all he could talk about. You seem to have your own magic too. You sure put a spell on him.
And I can put a spell on you too.
And send me to acting school? Maybe.
Aye, you're sharp, huh? Your father talks about you all the time, you know.
Yes?
He's worried about you, I think. I mean, I can see why now. Huh? You're just so attractive, huh?
Yeah. Daddy gives me countless lectures over the phone all the time. Put your mind on your workers. Natasha, don't let no foolish man fool you and make you pregnant. You hear what I'm saying? Keep your mind on your work. Well, I finished school and I went on to do A-levels and I didn't get pregnant.
Congratulations, huh?
But I think he's still disappointed in me though.
Why?
He doesn't understand what I'm doing. He'd much rather if I was sitting down in some office somewhere or counting money in some bank.
Yes, Natasha, yes. Listen, I want to buy this place. How about we take a walk down to the beach, and I can tell you more about it, huh?
No?
It is a clear day. I need to get a clearer picture of the mystery in the mangrove. Huh? History, huh? What have we lost?
What do you mean?
L'histoire. This should have been a French island back in 1794.
1794.
That is when the French and the Negmawa came together in these same mountains. Back when the French and the Satonax and Taravel had abolished slavery.
Right. After the French was forced to abolish slavery.
Forced?
Yes. The revolution, it was spreading in all the colonies, even here. They had no choice.
Toute l'histoire aussi. Hein?
Ah oui, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Bonaparte. Bonaparte. Good one, good one. Bonaparte.
We had a little song that we used to sing back in school. Napoleon Bonaparte. He went to school on a donkey cart.
The donkey let go a Russian fat and split Napoleon Bonaparte. It's a good one, huh? But that is not very nice. Napoleon did send troops to the Caribbean to re-establish slavery. He did have some success in Guadeloupe.
But not in Saint-Domingue. You see, we were strong. The play that I'm rehearsing with yet, the Haitian Earth by their call cut. That is what it's about. The Haitian Revolution.
I think she should have stayed with the French, huh? I mean, she has so much poverty and voodoo, huh? Listen, enough about IT, eh? Let us talk more about Saint-Lucia, about Belle Vue, and the difference that I can make here, huh?
Don't be scared of the voodoo.
I'm not scared of anything.
No?
No.
My uncle's son is a Kèlè.
The Kèlè, I know it.
A ceremony
vaguely.
where they sacrifice a sheep to Shango and
I know. Voodoo.
A religion my people brought from Africa.
I know it. It always seemed to happen some distance away, down by the river. We were never allowed to go down there when we were children. Bad stuff, my father used to say. Imagine where. evil stuff. But like you, I was always drawn to the drums and the voices, huh? Let us take a walk down to the beach, and I can tell you more about it, huh? Kosh!
Just reach and gone straight into adventure.
Man, it's so good to see you, huh?
Same here.
You look the same, huh? Younger, in fact. It must be all of this fresh air and good food, right?
You yourself look as clean as a coin. Since when you're here, how come you didn't tell me you was coming?
Oh, come on, man. You know I was coming.
Well, yes, I know you had to come, but you didn't say when exactly.
And it doesn't matter. Natasha, she welcomed me, huh? She is very pretty, huh?
She takes a lot by she mother's side.
It must be true. How are talks going with you and your brother? Huh? Are you getting along?
I come here right now for us to talk.
Oh, good. Natasha was just showing me around and getting me into the right spirits. Huh? So you go and have a talk with your brother, and when we come back, you and I can have a proper chat. Huh?
I think I see him coming. Let I talk to him alone.
Make it good, huh?
Adequate. Wow. You see how things that happen? So Meredith done pull Gavin in a complot there to take the land from Tonne and sell it. You see how politics and money does mix? But Gavin don't know that Sandra over here, he and Meredith. Sandra is an honest girl, you know. I know her since she's small. I'm telling you. That is one young woman who don't have no crookedness in she. From the time she hear the kind of business Gavin and them getting into, it's much easier now for her to go on she father's side. She change. So Gavin better watch himself because things getting hot. And the old man insists on holding on to his Kèlè.
I've been made to understand that there's an important person who needs to see me.
You are the one who is important, huh?
Oh, but sir, you are the color of importance.
Color don't matter these days. What matters is education, money, power. I have heard your name all through the trees since I come. You are important, I know. People around here treat you like you are the dictionary.
I wish I could provide them with more meaning.
I know you mean very much to the Prime Minister, and that he wants you to bring him the seat next election.
Pardon me, but in the meantime, do you mind if I take this seat?
Do this with her now, Honorable. Elections I hear are happening this year.
In the short time you've been here, you certainly are quite up to date.
Thanks to your sister.
And she said your name was...
Oh, Laroche. Henri Laroche.
Sounds like an oil tycoon.
Who knows? I could be, if it would get me what I want. Like you, Honorable. I see you are going for what you want.
Oh, you've got it all wrong. My sister, she's way too optimistic. I have some stiff, dishonest competition. This is my community and these are my people. If it was left to simple sincerity, I wouldn't have a problem. But with the emphasis now on trinkets and bluff...
Politics is a game, my friend. You have to play it. You know that.
Are you a politician?
Close. Close enough to them. I know how it works. But I should be getting to Dominica in the next couple of days, where I'm also building a resort. Huh?
Laroche. Laroche? Laroche?
Lucien. Huh?
Old French family who owned the estate before
it was jinxed out of our hands.
Jinx?
You've heard this story, I'm sure.
So, you've come to reclaim?
You can put it this way if you like. I I'm willing to pay. So let's talk business, quick. You help me. You help me, I help you. Huh?
What do you want?
I want the entire land. Huh? From the top of the hill, all the way down to the entire coast.
You must be crazy.
And my bank account is also crazy.
Ah. Why?
That is my business. Real estate. When my grandfather had migrated to New York, he started buying old buildings, refurbishing them, and building them back. By the time we had joined him, he was already a millionaire. Now my family has property as far as California to Florida. Now, it is time for us to start investing in the Caribbean.
We have a problem, Monsieur Laroche. Mr. Tonne, who owns most of the land, has absolutely no interest in selling.
Well, then maybe we can persuade him.
He's unpersuadable where that is concerned. You're not the first developer who has shown an interest.
Well, then if I don't succeed with him, then that is where you come in.
I'm not following you.
Patience. You see, what I want to construct here is something new. A skiing resort with a training component, a school. You do not have this here, and it will be of interest to your government.
It would be. It's tourism.
And from what I hear, bananas is out, and tourism is in. A skiing resort is of new and of special interest to the community for developmental purposes. If push comes to shove, the owner will have no choice in the acquisition. I mean, we would simply...
I see where you're getting at. But I don't know. The owner, he can't be fooled.
No one is... Gavin, you are slow to understand. No one is trying to fool the owner. This is of special interest to the entire country. And everybody will benefit, of course. The owner will receive compensation. That is how I made it happen in Dominica. But I do not have time to work out all of the logistics. I need a consultant. One would be very highly paid, of course, particularly if he has to run a political campaign. This would be very well financed.
I can tell you're very experienced in this.
So what do you say?
I'm thinking this is a legal issue. I'll have to take it up with the Prime Minister.
Don't think too much. I leave in 2 days, and I cannot leave without an answer. One way or the other, I close this project as I leave.
I don't like it, Kosh. I bring her up in the straight and narrow path.
What it is you don't like?
What I just see?
What it is you see?
Natasha.
What happened to her?
Don't pretend like you don't know. Natasha and Henri Laroche?
I don't know anything. What it is you're talking about?
I saw them. He was kissing her.
And?
And what? He was kissing her. She was kissing him.
You see them kissing. You have nothing to tell them. You're coming to tell me? What you expect me to do? Why me? Eh? If you raise her, you not stupid, Natasha, not stupid. She behaved like a damn sheep. She just made the man she kissing him. If she want to kiss him, let her kiss him. Better she kiss he than kiss one of these kiss-me-ass poor boys wrong
That's
here.
not right, Kosh. In the eyes of God.
You think I have nothing to worry about but Natasha? Eh? She not sick? The bank want to take my roof. There's not enough for me to worry about. I build a big nice house for you. Encourage her to stay in it. Where did you see them?
In the banana shed. Look, he coming.
Just leave things for now. No fuss. Let him get the land, give me the money, and we fix our business.
Where's Natasha?
She went to speak with her cousin, so I give them some privacy.
Privacy? What Sandra have talking to her about?
Sandra, she's your niece, huh? Gavin told me something very interesting that Sandra told him. She said her father is planning on holding that evil ceremony, the Kèlè.
Where you get that from?
Gavin.
Ton will always be an evil man.
That is why he will never have no money.
Kèlè? No man.
You cannot let him practice this evil, the Kèlè. Blood sacrifice. This is a modern world and you have to stop him.
We had finished with that long time. It's about what? 10 years since we had the last one? The church is still evil. I don't know why Ton want to do that again.
When Gavin said Ton hole in this Kèlè?
Tomorrow.
We don't hear nothing about it.
Because you want to keep it a secret from us, that is why.
You cannot let him practice that evil religion on this land. You have to stop him.
Mujubai Bokorisha. Mujubai Bokorisha. Shango Kabasiye Bakuso. Shango Babawa. Ogun Babawa. Mujubai Bokorisha. Ogun Babawa. Mujubai Bokorisha. Mujubai Bokorisha. Sandra, they want to take all the land from us. If we let them take it, they will take away everything we have.
You're getting paranoid, Papa. We have laws to protect us. This is not the time of Columbus, you know.
Sandra, I see what's going on, and it's not good. Come, we gotta prepare.
So you want me to deal in magic? Papa, you must leave it to us.
You're a damn fool, Sandra. You're listening to them. And time running up on us. They had the priests and the lawyers and the accountants and the politicians. All of them is damn thief. I sent you to school, Sandra, to get the education that I didn't get. Not for them to fool you.
They can't fool me, Papa. But Mama taught me to believe in God, not in magic.
So you feel I don't believe in God, Sandra? Our people believe in God. He is everywhere. Same in the trees. Yes. In the rivers. Hear his voice in the thunder. He is Shango. See him in the fire of the sun. Yes. He is Ogun, the iron of our people. And as long as I could hold a cutlass, as long as we could still work this land, nobody, and I mean nobody, going and take away our land.
I have something important to discuss with you, Natasha.
We have nothing to discuss, Sandra.
How you could stand there and say that, eh? You well know that they're planning to take away the land of our mothers and fathers, the land of our ancestors. How can you be a part of that, Natasha? Or you could just let them drag you into it?
Into what?
They're planning to steal the land.
No!
I overheard them speaking.
They're planning on buying it. You cannot call that stealing.
But we don't want to sell.
The land belongs to us, to my father.
Exactly. And mine. And because my father doesn't want to sell, they're planning to just what? Take it away from him and give him what they want for it?
Why are you so tied to the land, Sandra? Why are you so glued to this place? There's nothing here for us. No opportunities. I want to go away, to go to school. And look at what is happening here. There's nothing here for us. I thought you want the same for yourself. You think I want to go in town and just work for a few $100 a month? I thought you want the same for yourself, Sandra. You think this is what I want for myself? Selling this land is an opportunity for us. Tell me, Sandra, what options do we have? Do you have?
Where's your faith, huh? What you believe in? You have no faith in yourself or in your roots. That was always a problem, Natasha. You always wanted to be somebody else. Always wanted to be this big city girl. You grew up here, but your mind was always somewhere else. That's why it's so easy for you to just let the land go. That is why you can be part of this Coco Macaque to rid us of our birthright.
I can see your mind is set, Natasha. You're completely with them. I shouldn't blame you, you know. It's your parents. That is how they brought you up. I want to leave you with just one warning, you know. Just be careful that your parents are not planning to sell you as part of the package.
We have to talk, Sandra.
I don't know if I want to hear anything you have to say, Gavin.
It's very important.
Listen, I don't think I'm interested in that hotel job anymore.
It's not about the job. You're looking angry.
And what you have to tell me?
I spoke to the Prime Minister today.
My mother did not die in vain. My mother cannot die. She's had such a long illness, Gavin, and seeing her that way was so tough. No, I don't even believe in that. There is no death. Death should give way to life. It is said that the Guinea people that they celebrated when someone died, and that is what we did. That is how Papa wanted it. And even though Mama and Daddy differed on some things, I know that is how Mama wanted it as well, that we should celebrate her life. We should create a society where the lives of everyone could be celebrated when they die. We should cherish our people and our land.
I spoke to the Prime Minister today.
There's so much mourning in our land.
I accepted his offer, Sandra. I'm going up next elections.
Up the platform, up the ladder, to be among the movers and the shakers. For what purpose, Gavin?
We've been through all this, Sandra.
Up to yesterday, I spoke to you and you were not certain. You was worried about your campaign and what you was planning to do. Now suddenly everything is okay. I'll be seeing you, Gavin.
You're leaving?
Yes. My father is waiting for me. My dancers are waiting for me. Tomorrow is an important day for us. We have to prepare.
What happened, Sandra? Why are you changing?
I am changing.
Listen, you don't need to worry about money anymore. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I got the job at the hotel. You and your girls could work for me. I would need you to dance for my launching and help me mobilize the youth of Belle Vue. And you know that we spoke about that.
I don't want to be part of your politics, Gavin. Now I have to go. Gavin, let me go.
You really gonna throw away all what we have, Sandra? Look at me. Look at me. Can't you see? It's your father. He poisoning your mind, turning you against me, just so that he could have you to support his evil.
Let me go,
It's
Gavin.
evil, Sandra. Blood sacrifices, pagan rituals, praying to gods nobody knows, devil worship, that is what it is.
Shut up! Shut up! You call my father evil? Well, if my father is evil, so am I, and I prefer it, you hear me? I prefer that evil and all your lies, Gavin. You are blind, and I have no doubt that you were bought. Look at all the suffering that is going on. It's not our religion causing it. It's not our culture causing it. It's the damn politics. That is what it is. And you talk about blood sacrifice. The youths are killing and shooting each other senselessly. That is blood sacrifice. But look at the difference. The Kèlè is a sacrifice to the heavens to show our gratitude. Your politics is a sacrifice on our people on the altar of lust for money, position, and power.
Listen, I'm not going to stand up here and argue with you, you know. You know me, Sandra, and you know my family. We are the same people. Children of the land whose parents worked hard to make a better life for them. What greed are you talking about? We don't know nothing about no greed. My father had one pickup truck, which he drove himself to transport bananas to the wharf. Then he bought another one and hired a driver. Then he bought a minibus and another one until he had enough money to send me to university. That is how we do it, step by step. I owe it to my father to do the best with my life. In the days of my father, who you think occupied positions of power? Not ordinary black people and not the children of poor people. It's my turn now, Sandra. It's our turn. We have to see about ourselves.
Maybe so, but as we go for it, what are we sacrificing?
Come on, Sandra. I love you.
I don't know, Gavin.
You know that. I want you with me.
Okay, we say about ourselves, but what about the land?
Which land?
Stop pretending. This land here that we are standing on. This land here of our birth, are we losing it? I could feel something is happening. It's slipping right underneath us like the landslides happening everywhere. And those with money and power are closing us in further and further in.
Can't you see, Sandra? Is your father. You need to get away from him.
No. Just ease the pressure, Gavin. They want to kill us off and take our land. That is this Okunya my father was talking about. Leave me go. You're on their side now. You don't have to say it. I could feel it and I could hear it in what you are saying. You think I'm stupid, eh? Is that white man you're talking to? We're on different sides now. Gavin, I believe in the Almighty God, and He's not a God that is selling His people into the hell of desperation. Go, Gavin, go to your politics. Go to your world of money, bubble, and power. Go and leave me to my fight.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe palapo mama mwe pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo mama mwe pakafesa.
Jabla jabla. Jabla jabla. Jabla jabla. Jabla jabla. Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo.
Pakagaji.
Jabla jabla palapo palapo. Jabla jabla palapo
Edikui.
Kwa.
Edikui mama ila.
Kwa.
Edikui.
Kwa.
You see it yellow? You thought it was butter? No. Don't underestimate the power of people and the culture. Well, that is the story from Belle Vue. Only forget me? No, don't forget me. Because it's I start the story and it's I going to finish it. I'm sure you're going to be happy to know that the land never sell. Yes. After that Kèlè, Henri was too scared to continue with the plan. Poor Gavin, no big funding for his politics. But he's still coming around Sandra troubling she. Poor fella, he ain't giving up. But as the saying goes, once bitten, twice shy. It's hard for Sandra to trust him again. Well, Kosh was a bit luckier. I hear he get a job in Martinique with the French connection. That is how he managed to keep his house Meredith, she built a church downstairs. As for Natasha, she and Sandra come close. When you see them like pittons from afar. And she started to do some drama thing with the dancers and them. You ask for Tonne. He is a happy man. Right now, he's sitting on his balcony, dipping the rocking chair, watching the dancers. So let me go and watch with him and give him a round of applause. Yes! Eddie Queen!
Quoi?
Ki bel bateau, ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
Ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
Ay, way. Ki bel bateau, ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
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 Let's go. Bateau, ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
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 Ki bel bateau, ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
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 Ki bel bateau, ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
Ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
Ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
Ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai. 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 Adai.
Betilia, Adai.
Adai.
Where Adai?
Adai.
Betilia.
Adai.
Betilia bateau.
Adai.
Bateau.
Adai.
Oh, Adai.
Adai.
Bel bateau, ki bel bateau, ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
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 Ki bel bateau. Ki bel bateau Betilia.
Adai.
Ay.
The Caribbean linguistic experience, I think, is a very diverse scope. So, like, Trinidad, we have our Creole, or Creole as they call it in some other Caribbean countries. And I think, within this play, you get a true sense of Caribbean aesthetic, especially in terms of language. You get a true sense of St. Lucian Creole, because you experience things or words that we may not necessarily experience in Trinidad and Tobago. Like, we have our patois, yes, but it may be said differently, it may be written differently. So I feel like, the play is heavily steeped in that, and it gives the characters themselves, it helps them to live in their truth of being of St. Lucian culture. I think too, it gives me an experience, Anton Brewster, an experience of what it feels like to live in Kosh's body and, speaking through his tongue. So, I feel like it gives you a good sense of Caribbean within the play. The history of the place has affected Kosh in significant ways. I would say that this is a period piece, and we are dealing with a period that a lot of things were happening around the Caribbean. The banana industry was very significant to the economy of the Caribbean, and to have to live in a place where we are seeing things around us dying, there's the theme of escape in it. Kosh wants to escape this colonial realism that he has been a part of for the longest while now. He went to the States, he experienced life in the States, but coming back to this now, it still feels like, the white man, and there's a supremacy that I no longer want to deal with. I want some independence, and to do that means selling off what I have, giving what I own, that is of the colonial nature, that I can have something for myself, that I can now begin to build of my own. So I feel like, there's a lot of suppression that is happening, but there's a lot of opportunities for freedom that Kosh is trying to reach for, and at the same time it's not being realized because of all the things around him and the people and the situations. So, there's a burning desire in Kosh to be free of oppression, be free of suppression, be free of colonialism, and he's being held back. His obstacles are his family, his obstacles are the mentalities of all the people around him. So, you know, again, it's a desire and a want to be free of colonialism and all the things, all the aspects of things that is holding him back. The conflict between Kosh and Tonne, I would say, you know, like in every family there is sibling rivalry, yeah? And you can see that being played out in the script where Kosh talks about, you know, Tonne always being a coward and always being scared to leave the land. And that in itself tells you a lot about their relationship, how long ago they've been having a feud between them and one wanting to move on to greener pastures. But it also reflects a society, it also reflects the wider Caribbean in terms of us being so close-knit as Caribbean islands, but having those differences in terms of who wants to move up that hierarchy. And who has the resources and the know-how and the ability, the knowledge to move up the hierarchy. I think we can compare the brothers' relationship, one being younger than the other. And in this situation, let's say, for example, Kosh is the younger brother, but Tonne is the older one. Tonne has more experience. If we look at Haiti and having achieved independence before Trinidad and Tobago, but yet still people may look at Trinidad and Tobago as a more experienced one because, you know, there's a lot more development. But if it were not for the older one, where would Trinidad and Tobago be today? So I feel like, you know, there's a dynamic about the Caribbean islands and the Caribbean aesthetic that we see through the brothers' eyes that can be realized through this play. I feel like the play deals a lot with Caribbean societies, the ideologies of Caribbean societies, much more than just words on a page, yeah? It pulls out a lot of things that we experience as Caribbean people, and if we dig deep into it, we can see ourselves as Caribbean nationals through this play.
Well, I grew up in a village called Dibe, Long Circular, and it's a small village, and we have a lot of trees, we have mang, and we had a lot of elders living there. And the religion mainly up there was Baptist. So I used to go a whole lot of Thanksgiving with a whole lot of Baptists, and they will tell us a whole lot of stories. And we used to have to pass, like where I live, we used to pass mang, trees on both sides. And it's an area where children used to come and play with one another. So I remember our parents telling us, don't go outside after 6 o'clock because they have the Sukunya would come and take you. And there was this elderly lady, I think her name was Miss Mildred or something like that. And she used to say the Sukunya will take off your skin and she's come and fly, and then all the candle flies. They say there's a lot of Sukunyas there, no? So every time you all go outside there, the Sukunya, they will come and suck your blood. So we used to be real frightened and stay inside. When my mom go to work, locking up inside, we didn't come outside at all. So I got intrigued with telling stories. My great aunt used to tell us some stories and stuff where she lived, and I remember she said she told us a story about at one time they used to hear this sound in the night. You say something like a pig grunting every night, this pig. And they gathered all the men together because they said they had to catch this pig to beat this pig. And all the men really gathered together and they caught the pig and beat the pig. And the next morning they say the story is a little squinchy little old man in a little corner, well beaten up. So they realized, well, that was the man used to So those are some of the stories that used to, tell us when we were small. And then I love the arts. I like talking and I love reading. And since as a child, I used to read and I used to embody the characters and I used to put myself as the characters and sometimes change the story and try to be a part of it and tell it. So it was really easy. It wasn't, I love telling stories. I was not aware of the Kèlè, that Kèlè culture. I was not aware of it. I know there are cultures where they do sacrifice and blood and all that because where I grew up too, they used to practice that. They had there were religions used to do that. They used to kill goats and then used to pass around and everybody had to have a spoon and dip out of the goat head. Yeah, yeah. Yes, that was so I know about that, but I wasn't too sure about the Kèlè. But it was a good experience, you know, learning, because Belle Vue, it sort of like hit me home, because I grew up in that kind of scenario with fig trees and trees. Where I live, almost everybody had a mango tree in there. Almost everybody had a fig tree, a lime tree. So we used to borrow from each. Everybody could go and pick. So the scenario sort of like hit home for me. So it was easy for me to maneuver through and the grass and stuff like that. You know, I didn't grow up in a concrete jungle. I started living in concrete when I get older. I remember we used to. Our landlord, he was involved, you know. I don't want to call the religion of it, you know. But I remember he used to have this goat, and the goat used to be right in our yard. We used to rent from him. I used to put the goat there, and when they're ready for the goat, like about a week, he would feed this goat, and when they're ready, they will take the goat and they will sacrifice it. And they'll be walking the same round in a circle, and be home. And then we'll hear screaming out and everybody shouting. And I remember my mom said, okay, the spirit reach. And when we will peep through, and then we'll see like they have the head, and everybody have a spoon, and they're dipping in it, and they're clapping, and you know, it's sort of like crazy, but I guess that's everybody to their own order, eh? So I grew in that kind of thing. I mean, our family didn't practice it, but I grew around it. I saw it. We used to go to a whole lot of Baptist Thanksgiving. We used to look forward for that as a child, look forward for it. And, you know, we used to see them catching power and falling down, and, you know. So the stories and things, it was a bit familiar. It was a bit familiar. So I really enjoy doing the storytelling. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I felt a connection to home, because I grew up among walking on grass, trees, mosquito biting, and we didn't have mosquito repellent at that time. We had cockset. So it was really fantastic. It was fantastic, yes.
Well, for me, growing up in Mondiablo, I have had like those storytelling moments with this man named Papa George. He was one of the chanteurs. He used to create a lot of stick fighting songs. He used to sing patois, you know, in the Creole and stuff like that. So I've had experiences with him telling us stories, and then being at the university, having more experience there, dancing and hearing these songs and having to learn them. And then at this stage here with you in this process, it has just been, you know, that it's easy for me. I don't know, I just keep catching on to it. I don't know if it's because of my musical background with my family, because there are a lot of musicians, but I have had family members who have been a part of that experience where these dances, you know, the ballet, the piqué, and all of these things, they have done it before. So I guess it's in my genes, it's in my blood. So, you know, it's really a part of me naturally, you know, and basically that's it. To be quite honest, the process has been one process that I will not forget, but there are things that I have learned, and these songs that you have taught us, it was really nice being able to carry it through, you know, being a part of that. I'm not one who would always say, okay, yeah, I could sing, because I'm the background person when it comes to singing. But being able to take that mantle for you at times, you know, just carrying it on, I've been able to learn and grasp the language, which is good for me. And I just really appreciated that. And it will stick with me. It definitely will, because I wrote them down. It will be there.
In everything that I do creatively, I always try to make steps forward in preserving heritage, because it's so important, you know. And if we take it for granted or neglect it, it will just fade away. And I think like plays or films like this is so important, because it's an opportunity to preserve our culture. Well, I went to an all-Catholic school, right? And they tend to demonize religions like this that is rooted in cultures that came in. And when we demonize it, you know, we put this stigma on it, and we don't tend to look at the broad picture, you know. and the qualities that the religion have. It's all about spreading love, and we shouldn't demonize these things, you know. Yes, you know, everything is slightly different but so similar at the same time. Our culture, we might see like other small islands as being so vastly different from us, but if you look at the essence of the dances, it's all the same, and it's all so beautiful and so amazing how we could keep mixing cultures until we create something for ourselves, you know.
Yes, in a way, because I also am a Christian as well, and of course being a Trinidadian, you're surrounded by so many different cultures. But while I can appreciate other cultures as well, in terms of religion I should say, it's important for me to stay close to what I believe in while also being respectful and tolerant of those around me. Going into the shoes of Meredith was a challenge because I realized after a couple of weeks in learning about the character that she is quite strong on many different levels. And to be Kosh's wife, it was a hard role for her, but I realized the character possesses so much strength that in the sense that she would allow Kosh to lead, she would push him, she would be the brains of the operation, you could say, really, thinking of that next step, how to help her family, while also giving Kosh, you know, the space to do what he needs to do as a man and as the husband of the family, the leader of the household. You know, she's strong, yes, but she also gives Kosh room to lead and do what I guess she wants him to do at the end of the day. She was quite exciting, I must say, you know, bringing her from where I started until now, you know, moving in the space in which Meredith lives has been a real refreshing experience, you know. Going on set was also another level, you know, because it's one thing to run the lines and learn the lines and learn who she is, but to really live in the space was quite refreshing, I must say. It was challenging too because I really see now where that need for assistance, where that need for a partner comes from in terms of working in the banana fields and managing the business. I could see where she really depends on Kosh a lot. So yes, it was quite exciting, I must say. Oh, well, I must say I was very excited, even from last year, learning the music, learning the language. It was something I've wanted to do for so long because my family heritage is also rooted in French Creole language, and it's something that's spoken in the older heads of my family, but I always wanted a reason to learn it. And you know, they reside mostly in Pity Valley, places like Carenage, so amongst them they would communicate in patois. And, you know, just being a child looking up on them, you might pick up certain things, but their intention really was to keep us out of the loop. They might want to have conversations that the children may not be, you know, required to know about. So they would use the language then, but they didn't use it to necessarily communicate with us. So I feel if they had, I might have had a better grasp of the language, not only picking up specific words. And this French Creole is so special to Trinidad and Tobago because there are certain things in our culture which are reflective of that French heritage that we might overlook. And you know, this was like an eye-opening moment for me to really see and identify how much of a multicultural island we really are. This was quite like a full circle moment for me. It was nice to learn about the St. Lucian culture, the language. It was nice to, you know, really see a different aspect of my Caribbean, you know, outside of the English-speaking Caribbean. You know, I enjoy learning the songs as well. You know, they were quite nice. And I hope that, you know, my classmates and I, we can take this experience and want to grow, learn more about just our Caribbean heritage in general.
To begin with, you have the European influence on Trinidad's upbringing, its growth throughout history from then to now. Yeah, French was just one of the influences along with the British, the Spanish, and at one point in time the Dutch. And so in this, the character really comments on what that European influence is and what that hand of power can do with the dynamics of anything, the way the direction things go and the dynamics in which things grow in. And so you can actually mirror it, or you can find aspects of it found within Trinidad history, Trinidad and Tobago history itself. Yeah, where you have this European influence that then interferes with the way things work. If it's a change of hand in power, it then now influences the way culture and the way we perceive art and the way we grow. And so there it is. There it is. You see that Henri, the touch of Henri and his family in this space, within the play in Belle Vue in St. Lucia. You see that his family and has an influence on the culture and the way they perceive the world around them.
Right. What about did the play get you thinking about Creole culture and Creole identity?
Definitely. Because the term Creole, some of us have an understanding of what it is. Yeah, it's a Caribbean person of mixed heritage, yeah, born in the Caribbean. But then, when you take it within the solution context now, which is where the play is set, you see that the dynamism of it changes. So now in here, Creole means language, speech, art, expression. And in this entire process of doing a journey of understanding the Creole world and Creole drama, you see that world unfold in front of you, up to where you have to learn a new language, practically from scratch. Of course, people tell us to rattle it off the tongue now, we can't, not perfectly. But there are words and things that we learned, statements, yeah, phrases, yeah, and we see the mirroring. We see, hey, this song like Trinidad and Patois, yeah, and you see the mirrors, and you grow and the appreciation for it grows from there. I think what I like about Henri the most is calculated wittiness. Yeah, you see that in him. Yeah, you always, a lot of times, I recognize I tend to move to a certain particular hand gesture often, yeah, and the way I interact and touch. And I just like the way he moves. That movement, that walking in his shoes. I didn't like about Henri was the same thing. It's funny, yeah? It's like, it's oxymoron even. But at the same time I recognize I can't be that guy. That is the character. But he's a sticky man. He's icky even. Yeah, the way he interferes, the way he touches, the way he maneuvers. But at the same time I like it, I find it beautiful. So it's this ugly beauty. Yeah? And I think that's the best way I can put it. He's an oxymoron. The term Belle Vue literally means a beautiful view. That which you look at which is beautiful. And I think all of us has that, our own Belle Vue, our own space that we want to protect and make our own, making a space for ourselves, not just as individuals, but as artists. All artists has their Belle Vue. You can literally mirror the term Belle Vue to Nirvana. You can mirror the term Belle Vue to that place in which you see to be the ideal that you want to protect and hold close to you. And right now the art in the Caribbean, more so in 2021 with the onset of the COVID pandemic, we see ourselves trying to re-establish what a Belle Vue is for us here as artists, because we have to now mark a new space, seeing that we interact on a virtual instead of the physical. We use the physical for this year, but the rehearsals for this was very virtual. Yeah, and marking that space, finding that Belle Vue, finding the artist's Belle Vue was tough. Definitely tough. But when you find it, you want to hold it close because you feel like you figure it out, and there's more to figure out. But yeah, Belle Vue is that which you hold close and you want to protect.